Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. I've been putting this video off and off and off and off because it's Star Trek Discovery and it is shite! Utter shite. The only saving grace is that this is the penultimate episode of the season. That's the only positive thing I really have to say for this episode. And I watched this, I think, a week ago today. All right. So it's not fresh in my mind. I'm sure as hell not going to go back and watch it because that can just off. But I will try my best to recall the pain and the mental scars that it gave me for having to go through this mitigated tripe of a show. We should call this one Cry Hard because Mikey Burnham this week, Mikey Spock, exalted ruler of the universe and everything that she surveys, she tried to do, they tried to do a Die Hard thing with her, and it was pathetic. It was really pathetic. And then they also decided to do an anti-capitalist thing. And then they decided to do a reparations thing in as much as we don't care about the future and moving forward. All we're bothered about is punishing somebody because of the past. How progressive is that? Star Trek Discovery. It's just a hypocritical piece of shite. Right, woman. Oh, look at this green bint on the screen. Absolutely useless. It's about as scary as a poke in the eye. So if you don't know, by the way, in the last episode, Tilly, Ensign Tilly, who they gave command of the Enterprise to. Why? Because they're fucking stupid. Because every person in this show is an absolute moron who has the mental, emotional growth of a toddler and the IQ. Let's just say the IQ is well within 2 digits. 1 digit. Okay, so the green woman, she cons her way into getting into Starfleet HQ. And I don't get what Starfleet is in this. This series has been garbage, right? Starfleet, for all that we've seen, for all that their power extends, is just a bunch of ships flying around a space station that's surrounded with a cloaking device. That's Starfleet. They've shown us nothing of how they have planets within their ranks, how they conduct business, what missions they go on. It's just every week, let's send Discovery to go here because Discovery has a spore drive and therefore doesn't have to travel in space, and therefore we don't actually need to have writers to come up with interesting dialogue or events which might just serendipitously happen. No! You can just zap from there to there and boom. We can just dispense with all that and get straight to the fucking crying women. So because she has control of the Enterprise now, because Captain Tilly lost it, and by the way, somebody reminds Tilly that she held control, that dude here, that she held control of Discovery for all of 12 minutes. That's her command. Her command lasted 12 minutes before she lost Discovery to these members of the, I can't remember what they're called, the Green Tea Empire. I don't give a toss. And yes, Mr. Guy is back from episode 2, and his hand's got a little bit of frostbite because he had some ice. And he's like, "Hey, you're really shit, Tilly." And Tilly's just like, "Cry now, gonna crises. The Asian guy is just about to ask if he has a line in this episode, but they quickly stop him and say, "No talking. No talking to you. No talking from you. You are looked upon, Asian guy, and that's it. No lines. We don't give a shit about you. You're a fake part of the crew that just ticks a box. We have nothing for your character. It's never grown or developed in any shape, way, or form because we're just massive bigots that want to big up Mikey Burnham. That's the whole purpose of the show. But we will virtue signal all day long. Now shut up, Mr. Asian Man, and get to the back." Which he does. In actual fact, this woman, who I've never even seen in an episode, gets some dialogue. But this guy, no. Get back. Get back. So these are the prisoners that they've got. And then when they get through the little force field, Mikey Burnham, who's on Mr. Testicleless's ship. This is Mikey's bitch. Mikey's girlfriend, who loves a good pegging from Mikey in their spare time. This review has got quite aggressive and sort of fallen off a cliff. Let's just continue on the way down as we hit what's it called? We hit critical velocity? Critical velocity? Something velocity. Let's go. So I love it up the Ronson as my girlfriend pegs me, manages to squeeze his ship into the docking bay of Discovery. I don't fucking care. As it makes its way through the little hole in the force field that Starfleet makes because it gave the right codes. Now they have to say, "Hey, look, we actually took over your ship. We want to talk." There's a guy in a space wheelchair who's with a bunch of villains, and it looks like he's either her lover or something like that. And he acts all kind of a little bit like, you know, I'm an evil scientist sort of a guy. So you're like, okay, he's going to start torturing somebody. And yeah, look at that, rubbing his hands together. Oh, I'm gonna torture you. Oh, I can't even remember his name. I want to say Robert. No. But no, he actually turns out later to be a beautiful person because you can't have I think he's legitimately wheelchair bound, by the way. You can't have a disabled person as a villain. No. They're like fucking amazing. And they can only be morally positive and correct. Book says, when are you going to stick it up me Ronson next, my beautiful pegging girlfriend? And she's like, I don't know. I want to play Die Hard. Oda Ferrer just looks cool as fuck. I like his outfit. I just really wish he had better material. But he is the only person, because Saru doesn't anymore. Saru's gone. Saru's just a crying little bitch now. That is this absolute cock. He's had his command cocked to fuck. So Oda Ferrer is the only guy who feels like a member of Starfleet. And he's like, oi, what are you doing with our ship? And they're like, well, we've kind of taken it over and we'd like to do some negotiating. Mikey Burnham fights a guy, obviously half her size, and he stabs her in the leg with a knife and she pulls it out. She pulls the knife out without having a medical kit. We are what? 1,600 years in the past to them? Something like that, because they've zapped all the way into the future. And even I know you don't remove a fucking blade from a wound in case it's hit an artery or something and you will bleed out. And it doesn't even have to hit an artery for you to bleed out, but whatever. And she's just like, oh my God. And then somehow she takes her shoes off later. I don't care. So Green Woman's like, can we come over and talk, please? Space Karen, as Robert Mayer Burnett would say, Space Karen asks to speak to the galactic manager. And Oda's just like, no, I'm not the president of Starfleet, but he don't want to talk to you, but you can talk to me. Mikey's... Oh, fuck off. So they teleport over to... This is a health and safety hazard. What if I fell off the edge? What if I had vertigo? You don't have vertigo in the future. Well, there's a guy in a wheelchair, so if there's a guy in a wheelchair, I can have fucking vertigo, all right? What if they just... Probably should have put some railings. The future. Health and safety hazard. All the prisoners escape thanks to I Love It in the Ronson book from his boyfriend, as he is the girlfriend in the relationship. It is a heterosexual relationship, but the roles are reversed. He likes it up and she likes to give. So they're just like, Tilly's just like, I am the shittest captain and the most embarrassing thing to happen to Star Trek in donkey's years. Nobody else really says anything because they're not allowed to, because they're paid scale and they can deal with it. There is that hologram is back, and the hologram is there to tell Oda Ferrer if she's telling the truth. It's a Truth Serum hologram. Oh, fuck off, Discovery, you fucking shite. So he has to look at the hologram, and the hologram is just like, yes, she's telling the truth, or no, she's full of shit. And her plan is, we have the infrastructure to supply, because and she says the word capitalists. We would like to join with you so we can conduct business on the planets that Starfleet own, or are in Starfleet, or the United Federation of Planet, whatever. And it doesn't make any sense what they're actually doing or how they have these planets. So I don't know what they actually really negotiate, whatever. And you'd think, okay, this is actually a sound idea. Obviously, she's not going to be able to run it because she's a naughty girl. And if you want to truly come together, then there's got to be a better figurehead. There's got to be a new way, there's got to be a new person in command. No. Starfleet are just like, we need to punish somebody. We need to punish. Never mind the future. Let's just deal with the past. Let's just live in the past, and somebody has to pay. Somebody has to be punished for you being a naughty people. Such a regressive thing. Oh my goodness me, who cares? So, Stamoids. Close enough. Stamoids. It's something like that. He is just like, do you have a family? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, I've got a boyfriend. Because you got to get that in every episode. In case you didn't fucking know, he loves it up the ass. And this guy just turns into I'm listening to some Orion opera because I am just the most soulful, incorruptible, wonderful person ever. You know your girlfriend's a massive bitch. You know your girlfriend's a fucking cow that's going around doing horrible things. He's like, no, surely not. She's just like the world's most beautiful thing. How can I, with my beautiful love of Orion opera and being in a wheelchair, be anything but wonderful and perfect and incorruptible? She fucking sucks. Mikey Burnham, I don't know if she's lost her shoes yet, but she loses her shoes and I don't care. They go after Mikey Burnham. She flushes them out the airlock and she doesn't fall out the airlock. Oh, that's when she takes the boots off. This dude's like, oh, Tilly's still shit. Oda Ferrer's just like, I still want somebody to pay. She's like, I'm still painted like a fucking olive. And, oh, look at me. Space Karen doing Space Karen faces. Stamoids is like, oh, look at me, I'm gay. He's like, oh, look at me, I'm disabled. Fucking hell. She's like, oh, look at me, I'm fucking obnoxious. Then there's a fight somewhere. Yeah, there's a fight and there's pew pew and Andorian guy gets killed. Booker's already told Michael to go save the day, Mikey, just like you do always. Fuck this show. And Stamets makes a face. I can't remember what's happening now, to be honest with you. I really can't. I can't remember what's even happening. Oh, yes. The terrible fucking crew of vaginas go into the armory and they get some guns. And Tilly's just like, just hold as many guns as you can. Tilly, holding 2 guns doesn't necessarily mean you're going to kill twice as many people, you dumb fucking bitch. Control of the actual weapon itself is more important to be effective, you... Oh my God. And just before they go away, the spaceship's like, hey, we turned ourselves... This is the computer, you know, the AI of the computer, which is now turned into a fucking Buster Keaton film. We've turned ourselves into small little robots. And they're like, right, let's go take our ship. Book's being tortured. And that's the end of the episode. I couldn't give a flying freaking fook. I really couldn't. I really couldn't. So that's the penultimate episode of Starshite Dishitiness with the season finale today. Depending on the reaction of this video, I might, this is a might, and don't you dare hold me to it, I might watch it and do the second part, the season finale, later today. So you better like this video, comment and subscribe and all that sort of stuff. Follow me on social media and YouTube for live streaming. Links are in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.